This is Baruch Fleischman here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel. So this is the book of Samuel. This is the second set. It actually really was, according to Rabbi Wein, there was really only one Samuel, but somewhere along the line, the publishers or the people that actually started making books divided into two. I believe that's what he said. We're in a difficult time. We're at war, and the war is on many different fronts. There's a picture. Let's see, where my phone was. There's a tool in my phone. 1 second. Oh, here it is. Right in the front. I want to show you this picture. Boy. This is a picture. I'll turn the light off. Of a young lady, young Jewish woman of African background, who died today. Died earlier in Israel. I don't know if we can get it more. Police Officer Sergeant Shai Gemai, 19. Only 19. She's from a place called Carmel, which is a place that I think about because it's in the Galilee, it's in the Galil, it's not that far from Sfat. Was killed by a roadside bomb in Jenin during an overnight counter-terrorism operation. These are Jewish kids. They're defending the land of Israel and making it possible for us in Mil Hashem to come back to our home. We go from this place here, we go 3,000 years back. So you're reading something which is, when exactly was written down, I'm not sure. Going on with the story of the life of our king, King David, the warrior. But the warrior was also a minstrel and poet and a devoted servant of God. The story begins like this, and we're actually apparently in chapter 4. And Saul's son heard that Abner had died in Hebron, and his hands became feeble. And all Israel were dismayed. And Saul's son had 2 men, the heads of troops. The name of one was Baana, and the name of the second was Rechab. The sons of Rimmon and Beoratit, of the sons of Binyamin. Now it'd be easier, Rochib, Rimmon, Be'eroti. That's why I just picked up the Hebrew real quickly. Be'erosi, Rebbeosi and Ashkenaz. So he says that's his name. Of the sons of Binyamin, for Beeroth was also counted to Binyamin, and Beerothite fled to Gittaim, and they were living until that day, on this day, and they were living there. That's where they go. And Jonathan, the son of Saul, had a son who was lame in his feet. He was 5 years old. And when the news of Saul and Jonathan came from Jezreel, and his nurse carried him and fled, and it was in other words, he was there too, and it was in her haste to flee that he fell and became lame, and his name was Mephibosheth. And the sons of Rimmon and Beerothite, Rechab and Baana, went and came in the heat of the day to the house of Ishbosheth, when he was taking his midnight rest. They came inside the house as buyers of wheat, and they struck him under the 5th rib. Now, there's something about this, we've seen this before. And Rechab and Baana, his brother, escaped. So they killed Mephibosheth. I'm trying to think, it's Ishbosheth and Mephibosheth are not the same place, not the same person. So Mephibosheth is the lame son of Jonathan. And they came into the house, and he was lying on his bed in his bedroom, and they struck him and put him to death. And they removed his head, and he took his head, and went by way of the plain all night. And they brought the head of Mephibosheth to David to Hebron. And they said to the king, here is the head of Ishbosheth. So they are the same people, Mephibosheth and Ishbosheth, the son of Saul, your enemy, who sought your life. And the Lord had granted my lord, in other words, my king, the king, vengeance this day of Saul and of his seed. And David answered Rechab and Baanah, his brother, the sons of Rimmon the Beerothite, and said to them, as the Lord lives, who delivered my person from every distress, that he who told me, saying, behold, Saul is dead, and he was in his own eyes as a herald of good things, good tidings, I took hold of him and slew him in Ziklag, who had expected me to give him a reward for good tidings. In other words, the person who pronounced him dead, who said that he was dead. How much more when wicked men has slain an innocent man in his own house, on his own bed. Now shall I not hold you accountable for his blood and remove you from the earth? And David commanded the young men, and they slew them, and cut off their hands and feet, and hanged them up beside the pool in Hebron. But the head of Ishbosheth they took and buried in the grave of Abner in Hebron. This is a difficult time. This is a wild time in the history of the Jewish people, in the settling of the land of Israel, as we are right now, in that very same process. This is Baruch Fleischman. This is the Tikkun Elevator Cola.